that.
I just got a mic like a year ago, please.
I don't even have a camera.
Oh yeah, that's right. Shit was updating. Ah.
The moo-moos are still here.
Yeah, those are... We'll be moving off that page shortly anyway, but... There's egg rolls.
Do you guys see my character spinning around, or...?
They should be able to.
Which one are you? Oh. Yeah.
Oh, something... Oh, I need to exit out of desk or background video. It's stealing too much CPU. Okay, egg rolls, are you ready?
Yeah, buddy.
I need to change something on my board here.
The name's Ponzi Scheme.
Oh, thank you.
Alright. What's these temporary hit points thing? Oh.
So sometimes you'll drink a potion or have a certain spell or a meal that gives you increased HP. That's what that is.
Alright.
So say like a tomato?
Tomato?
Toma.
No poo poo for the potato.
Okay. So, having met at the house by the east where the party was, the group is escorted by Magrad about 5 minutes away. And you all walk up, and as you're walking up on this road, you can see cresting just above the trees is a very large circular structure. It's got a huge gate at the front. A good amount of people are around. There's a lot of chatter in the air. People are very excited for this tournament that's about to be happening. And as you guys approach, Magrad turns around to you all and says, "Well, I hope you are all ready for this."
Yeah!
Hi, Captain.
He takes you all to the front of the gate and stops and says, "So, this shall be one-on-one single combat. And how we shall determine the contestants is by rolling this magic die." And he reaches into his sack and pulls out a six-sided die. And he says, "However, we do not have 6 components, so just hold on." And he squeezes the die, and one of the numbers disappears. And he says, "Very well. Who would like to roll first?"
I shall.
So
Well.
where am I at?
You are currently
You just yeah, man. It's fine.
on the west side of this Coliseum, but you're not like. We'll get to you shortly. So, Marcello, roll a 1d6.
Okay.
Okay. He looks at you and looks at the die, which has rolled a 6 on the ground there, and he says, You shall be facing off against a giant frog."
Nice.
And he squeezes the die once more, and one of the sides disappears again. And he says, "All right, now who is next?"
I'll go next, Mr. Bossman.
Okay, so you're gonna roll a 1d4.
Roar, 1d4. Shit! Alright.
A 3. We've got a very interesting contestant for contestant number 3.
Cunt.
He's a dwarf, but we can't really understand him.
Uh-oh.
Are you kidding me?
Fuck, dude.
Alright.
Who shall be next?
I'll go.
Very well. So you're gonna roll a 1d3. So, you flip the die on the ground and a 1 faces up and he says, well, we're not too sure about this guy either. He's a barbarian and very aggressive.
Yeah.
Alright, out of you two, who's next? And Dalrin speaks up and says, I'll go. And he holds up his hand to Dalrin and says, actually, both of your opponents have been chosen by process of elimination. You there, the warlock, you shall be squaring off against me. And that leaves this rogue here for the harpy. Yes, this shall be great.
Harp?
Harpy?
Do we get to place bets?
Maybe.
Well, okay. Hey, Magrad, do we get to place bets?
He looks at you and says, oh, yes, of course, that reminds me. That money you spent, yes, I shall be claiming the rest of it now.
We used all of it.
Make a deception roll.
Come on.
Do it.
Key up! Fuck.
God. You had a +6 modifier too.
He looks at it.
Almost a critical
He
failure.
looks at you and says, really, you've spent all of it?
No, I didn't.
I shove the gold up me ass.
And I pull, I give him the 5 gold.
For your honesty, I shall allow you to keep 1 gold coin.
Thanks, Magrad, you're the best.
Alright. Next, we shall determine who is going to be fighting first. So, we shall re-roll the die, and this shall determine our fighting order. So, everybody just roll a 1d6. I'm going to roll for Dalrin.
Oh, is he joining us?
No, but he will be, but he's here. He's currently in this scene. He was dragged off with you all. Ponzi, roll a 1d6.
He did.
Where is it? Oh, I see it now.
Above mine.
The first one.
2. Okay. Ponzi, roll another 1d6.
Alright.
Okay. And he says, very well. Our first contestant shall be Ponzi. Come right
Oh,
this way.
shit!
And he leads you over into the Colosseum, crossing into the gates. And the Colosseum is very large. Circles, all of the circles that you guys can currently... Wait, you're all... I took you to this page, right? Right, okay. So, the 2 black circles, that inside ring, so it would be... This blank section is a set of stands. This is another set of stands. This is the very, very closest set of stands. And towards the center is the fighting ring, which you guys are escorted north into the gate, all of you, and you're all taken around towards the east side, where you are. Everybody except Ponzi are currently put into holding cells. Magrad takes you then to a path, a hallway underneath all the stands to the west, where you see a bunch of an iron spiked gate. The spikes at the top are pushing into a stone archway. And Magrad looks at you and says, now, you can see the fighting arena. There's 4 pillars. So, in case you need any cover or anything, be creative.
Alright.
How tall are the pillars?
The pillars are about 15 feet tall.
And how tall is it from the bottom of the arena to the top of the first stand?
Probably 150 feet or so.
Oh man, okay.
Those yellow boxes are the iron gates. So let me take... you're gonna be there for now.
Hey, LMAO, fam.
So Magrad turns to you and says, just 1 moment and the fight shall begin.
Alright.
So as you guys are all waiting, you hear some very exciting music. and a voice that you can't quite hear, assumed to be an announcer, is heard in the air. Very well! We shall now be starting the tournament. Our very first fighter is a small, agile rogue fighting against, something weird. But a dwarf nonetheless. He does not talk much, but everyone now, please place your bets to the local representatives. The match shall begin shortly.
Oh shit, this
Fonzie's
music.
fighting the wolf?
Yeah. Yes, Fonzie's fighting. No, you guys all still have everything you still have.
Okay, cool.
I need to. I'll break that down a little bit.
I'm fucked, mate.
Then I need. So Gulag, your perspective of things is, after you had those customers and the cows show up in your shop, you were roughly escorted away by a bunch of guards for a reason you couldn't understand. You tried to fight, but you were unable to. Told something about fighting, and now you wound up following behind this group of people who were your customers a little ways to a grand structure, taken into a secret hallway and escorted around, and now in front of you is an iron gateway with one of your customers that you recognize on the other side.
Oh, customer.
All of you once more hear the voice say, "All right, contestants, are you ready?"
Customer.
Very well. Now let the fight begin. And the gates are lowered, and you both step into the arena. So,
Welcome to Gulag Customs, sir.
Okay.
The main portion.
hold on. We gotta bring out the turn counter.
Alright.
But don't do anything yet. Don't do anything yet. So Zerul, left click on your icon on the map, and then click on your name in your character sheet. And then,
Left. What?
so, left click on your icon so you have it selected on the map. So you see the health bars and stuff like that. And then pull open your character sheet and just click where it says Gulag.
All right. And then is that
Just-
public or?
Yeah, do public.
All right. There we go.
Alright, and then Ponzi roll initiative.
Oh yeah, okay.
Whoa!
Oh.
Alright, you guys want to again hear the announcer say, "Well, they seem to be ready. Gentlemen, please commence the combat." So,
Was it ever mentioned if this was a fight to the death or not?
it was not. We'll say I didn't mention it, but I had rules set up, but I fucking forgot already because I'm a genius. While you guys were being escorted to these holding cells by your side of the Coliseum, Magrad was telling you that this was a fight to whoever could not fight anymore. You all assumed that this meant unconsciousness, and that if you were the one who fell unconscious, you would be dragged out and like medically treated.
Well, that's nice, at least.
And then released?
That you don't know.
Okay.
So,
Jesus Christ.
Ponzi, what are you doing?
Well, I
By the way, we'll
do
say
a little
you
wave
guys
to
start,
Gulag.
You start back
Oh, okay.
there.
I do a little wave to Gulag to try to get him to notice me. Oi, Gulag! You remember me?
Oh, customer. Oh.
Gulag, go ahead and open your character sheet and click on the intelligence one, and you can just do that public.
Oh, I can't wait. That's not
So
bad.
modifier is only -1.
Yeah, for intelligence. So, Gulag, you vaguely remember this guy, seeing him the other day. You're not quite sure exactly what happened, but he seems familiar.
Return customer? No, not sure.
I
So-
take out a silver from my pocket to show him. I got silver for ya.
Gulag. Gulag also takes the silver out of his pouch and throws it under his tongue.
Perfect.
I toss it to him, and can I stealth like behind a pillar?
Yes, you can. So just go ahead and move yourself behind the pillar. And then go ahead and roll a stealth roll.
Fuck.
Okay.
God damn it.
So Gulag, do the same exact thing. Click on intelligence again.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just, until I tell you otherwise, you can do public.
Okay.
So Gulag, you see this man quickly duck behind one of the pillars, and you're not entirely sure what he's doing. For Ponzi, I'll say that was the entirety of your turn, because we'll say the interaction was an action, and we'll say you used your bonus action to hide. So this brings us to Gulag. Gulag, what are you doing?
Where did the coin land?
You said you tossed it?
Yeah, I tossed the coin like towards him.
Okay, we'll say it landed about here, on that intersection of the squares.
Gulag sees the shiny thing flip in the air and walks towards it in a stubborn manner and picks up and examines the coin. Oh, shiny! Gulag proceeds to also throw that coin into his mouth and tests if it's real or not. Satisfied, Gulag spits it out and then jumps with glee.
Okay, does that complete your turn?
That is complete my turn.
I can't take this. I don't want to hit
You're
Gulag
going
at
to
all.
kill that innocent creature.
Oh, I need to whisper something to Gulag real quick.
I don't want to kill this guy. I don't.
Who says that you're gonna kill him though?
I am.
Oh, good,
I'm
good,
tempted.
good.
Go for it.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that. Tell me.
Okay, so what are you doing?
Alright, so I kind of lean my head out, saying, "Hey, Gulag, I got another silver for ya." And I hold it out, like, from the pillar,
Okay,
and I lay it on the ground,
just right next to you?
like over here.
Okay,
Is that
And-
complete his turn or no?
we'll see. You can still move or take a bonus action, we'll say.
Can I stealth again? Yeah.
You can try.
Alright.
So, roll stealth.
Like getting ready to
Roll stealth with
knock him out just in
disadvantage.
Oh, shit.
Just roll it.
Let me
Just
do
roll
it.
stealth again then.
disadvantage.
No, just a regular stealth again.
Okay.
Okay, and then Gulag, roll the intelligence thing twice. Okay, one more. So, Gulag, you see this coin appear from behind the pillar and get dropped on the ground, and then all of a sudden the man disappears.
Oh. Gulag, with no interest who the customer is, knowing that he just dropped his silver, walks towards it.
Alright, so I lose 2 silver here.
Okay, so that was your movement. We'll say that ends Ponzi's turn. Gulag, what do you want to do now?
Pick up the coins.
Okay, and then what are you going to do with them?
Gulag once again inspects the coins and see if there's any wear and tear on them.
Okay, so looking at the coins, you see they're a bit dusty from being on the ground just now, but other than that, they look pristine.
Coin shiny. Gulag once again throws the coins into his mouth, tests if they're real or not.
Okay, so taking the coins in your hand and shoving them under your tongue, you're growing a little collection. You're sitting on them for a while before you verify that all of them are indeed genuine coins. This is going to take us back to Ponzi's turn.
Alright. I lean my head out again. just to talk to Gulag now. Hey Gulag, you mind pretending to be knocked out? I'll give you like 4 more silver if you do.
Make a persuasion roll.
Alright. Ah shit.
Oh!
Oh.
So, Gulag,
Girls
you
fucking
very
Uncharismatic fucker.
you very much strongly consider this deal and think about it before laying on the ground and sitting there with your eyes closed. you hear the announcer come up over the sound of everybody booing and saying, yes, the challenger's still standing. Could you please verify that he's unconscious?
Alright. I walk over there and just give him a light little kick.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
So, Gulag, as you're trying to pretend you're unconscious, you receive a light little kick in the stomach from the man who was talking to you.
Gulag, not knowing that this is a part of the plot, starts panicking and screaming in terror, and starts running towards the iron gate that he came out of.
Okay. So, running towards the iron gate, you found that the spikes have shot up and locked your exit path again. You still can move 2 squares.
Alright, 2 squares. Panicking, Gulag starts to cry. Pathetically.
Okay. As Gulag kneels down in front of the iron gateway, you hear all of the crowd booing. Some of them are tossing tomatoes into the arena. However, that takes us to Ponzi.
Alright, I'm gonna move up 2 squares here. I walk up, trying to calm Gulag down. Pathetic cry shit.
Jesus.
To try and calm Gulag down, and shit, yeah, I'm gonna try. Alright, Gulag, calm down. Look, I'm gonna pretend to hit you. I need you to pretend you're knocked out, alright? I'll give you 4 more silver.
Ponzi, roll persuasion, and then Gulag roll intelligence again.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Oh god, he's too smart.
Gulag, you understand the basis of what this man is saying, however, you don't quite agree with it as you're still trying to find a way out.
Oh, is it my turn or is it still his turn?
He has a bonus action if he wants to do something.
Okay.
I'll make sure you get out of here. If you if you do this.
You still don't quite believe him. That'd be under the same persuasion roll.
Seriously?
Yeah. Fuck. That'll take us to Gulag.
Gulag, panicking, starts running around the pillars to the on the south side.
Okay.
And tries to hide away.
Click on the dexterity one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can do that public. As Gulag is running around, one of the tomatoes flies through the air towards Gulag's head. It hits the ground as he deftly, well, not even deftly, he luckily manages to dodge it in his crying fury. Is that all you want to do?
Can I pick up the tomato?
Sure.
Gulag picks up the tomato and examines it, seeing as the tomato is damaged, he throws it back into the crowd.
Okay, so click on that strength button.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gulag, taking the tomato in your hand, you whip it back out into the crowd, and you can see it hits a noble-looking lady, well-dressed, a half-elf, square in the face. You don't hear her reaction, but she seems distressed. This takes us to Ponzi.
Alright. God. Alright, I'm gonna walk over there. Gulag, buddy. Seriously, I'll buy you like 10 tomatoes if you pretend to be knocked out by me.
Go ahead and roll persuasion, and then Gulag roll intelligence again.
Please work. Okay.
Guys,
It's not natural, so it's good.
So, Gulag, this man is very heavily trying to persuade you to do something, however, you don't understand it in the slightest.
Oh god.
Does he roll again, or is it my turn?
No, if he wants to use a bonus action, he can, but then it'll be your turn.
I'm gonna go stealth up behind the fucking pillar. I'm getting
Can we
ready.
hear this, by the way?
Over here.
Can, like, the other contestants hear this?
No, you guys, over the cheering and everything, you guys cannot hear what's being said.
I'm
You
gonna-
can see what's happening.
Oh, we can?
Yes, you're looking down the hallway kind of out of yourselves and kind of peeking. So your sight line would basically be...
Right down between the pillars.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna hide behind the pillar then.
Okay, roll stealth.
The intellect for me.
You can't even roll a 21, so that
Oh.
automatically passes. So, Gulag, this man who has been trying to communicate with you, all of a sudden disappears from your view,
Oh no.
and it's now your turn.
Gulag, not knowing what the hell is going on, starts running around the arena looking for a way out, screaming profusely.
You can only move a total of 6 squares in your turn.
Oh, okay. I think I moved.
1, 2, 3, let's see, 20 feet, 25.
There.
Yeah, okay. Gulag, go ahead and roll dexterity again.
Dexterity, okay.
As you are running around and screaming, another tomato comes flying through the air and hits you square in the mouth.
This town is a thriving tomato business, yeah.
I know, right?
You take
Holy shit.
2 points of bludgeoning damage, so in your character sheet, just note that you have 2 less health, which I'm also keeping track of, but...
Oh man, I
Oh,
need
they're gonna
like
knock him out.
Is there any way that I could like? I want to cast this cantrip called Message.
Okay,
I'll link it for you.
so here, Gulag, you can see your health bar, right? When you click on your character? Yeah. So if you lose health, just click on the red thing and then hit minus whatever I say.
Oh, okay.
So I
so
already took care of it, but...
okay, you took care of it. Okay.
And I want to try to see if I can give a message to Gulag.
He's currently not in view of you.
Alright.
So, Gulag, this tomato hitting you in the mouth starts to enrage you, and you look around, seeing a ton of people in the stands, but not really focusing them, and you believe that the tomato has been thrown by Ponzi. However, that takes us to his turn.
Alright. I look around to see if there's any tomatoes around on the ground.
There's pieces of tomatoes.
Just
make an investigation roll.
Okay. Investigation.
10. The best you can find is about a half of a tomato.
Shit. Alright. I go to pick it up and I saw where Gulag went, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay. I go to pick it up and I go to the pillar, like, on the other side from him.
Okay.
And I do a little call out, Gulag! And I get ready to knock him out
Okay.
with the tomato.
Okay. So this takes us to Gulag's turn. Gulag, as you're running around in a fright, you hear a voice whisper your name from behind the pillar.
Oh, customer. Gulag
Every time.
takes a cautious look around the corner, seeing who called his name, demanding his services.
Okay, so, both of you just roll a 1d20 in the chat.
Actually, can I make an interjection?
Which,
For the message spell, I don't actually have to see them. I just have to know that they're there.
Oh,
Whose knowledge objects appear familiar?
one...
I can make like a history check to see how familiar I am with them.
Okay, so you are casting your message on who?
Gulag.
Okay. So first of all, Gulag, as you round the corner, you see a man standing there with a tomato in his hand.
Oh, so it's still my turn?
Yeah, I just wanted to see which one of these actions would play out first.
Gulag, in his panic, forgets who the man is and starts screaming and running the other way. Ah!
Okay.
I think that's the end of my turn right there.
Yeah.
I think that was 6 blocks.
So, Marcello, as you sit there and attempt to concentrate on Gulag, trying to send him a message, you send your spell up to the iron bars of the gate, and it can go no further.
Uh-oh.
That's more than 100. Oh, okay. I gotcha.
So,
Bitches.
that takes us to Ponzi.
Alright, how many blocks I can move?
You guys have a decent amount of range around the
It went my plans.
the fighting pit.
Yeah.
Well, at least someone has. Well, you don't technically know that.
All right, I'm gonna move towards the pillar. I saw him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna run towards the pillar, like right over here.
Okay.
Gulag, come on! I need you to pretend to be knocked out.
Make a persuasion roll again, and Gulag roll intelligence again. While you keep whispering to Gulag, you hear the announcer call out, "If this fight does not end in the next 5 minutes, it shall be ended forcefully with interjection." So, Gulag, you understand that the man is trying to tell you to pretend to be unconscious, however, you're not quite convinced.
Oh my gosh, it's such a cruel cycle.
Do you want to take any of your bonus actions?
Yes, I'm going to round the fucking corner and kick him in the goddamn face. I'm done with this. If I lose, I lose. I don't care anymore.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a 1d20 plus your strength modifier.
Plus strength? Oh, I don't have any. Roll 1d20.
Suck.
Oh, fuck.
5. So, rounding the corner, lifting your leg up to deliver your foot into the face of Gulag. He just ducks under it as you miss with your kick.
Doug is so much he's short.
Yeah. This brings us to Gulag. Gulag, you saw this man just try to attack you, and you're starting to get angry and provoked over this.
No customer! Customer try boo boo! No boo boo! Gulag does a 180 turn and faces what's your name again?
His name is
Ponzi.
Ponzi.
Ponzi, and picks up a rock and tries to attack you with it.
Okay, so you can on your character sheet, click the simple rock one and do that
Okay.
private. So, Gulag, as you attempt to offend onto Ponzi with this rock, you swing at him as he manages to sidestep the rock. You could still use a little bit of your movement if you wanted to, but otherwise that was your action.
Oh. And then Gulag tries to run through the other side.
Okay, that brings us back to Ponzi.
Alright, I'm gonna chase after him.
You guys hear the crowd starting to shift tones. They're starting to get more excited, and some clapping as you guys trade blows.
So his back is turned to me, right?
Currently, yes.
Alright, so I'm just gonna, like, kick him into... That's a wall, too, right? Alright, I'm gonna, like, just run up to him, just kick him into the wall, and, like, I don't know, just push
Yes,
his
sir.
end into it, knock him out.
Okay, go ahead and roll athletics. We'll say with advantage as you're doing it from behind.
Please fucking yes.
20.
20. So you manage to forcefully kick Gulag into the back as he flies into the wall. Gulag, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Alright, 3 points, so that's 27 now.
Yeah, so you can. Yeah, yep, that's good. Do you want to use your bonus action to disengage?
Yeah,
or
then I
anything?
stealth him behind the pillar over here.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that stealth.
Nice.
15. Okay, Gulag, go ahead and roll your intelligence. Okay, so as we go to Gulag's turn, Gulag, you just were forcefully kicked from behind and slammed into the stone walls of this fighting pit. Turning around in a hurry, you can't seem to quite find the offender.
Gulag, panicking, afraid, and yet angry, starts running around in random circles and finds himself into the middle of the Colosseum.
Okay, go ahead and roll your intelligence again.
Alright.
So, Gulag, in your terror and your frustration and your want to get out of here, you do not notice Ponzi sitting behind the pillar. That will take us to Ponzi's turn again.
Alright, I pretty much like charge toward him to just like I'm gonna fuck. Hold on. Alright, I'm pretty much gonna just run through, punch him in the face, and just hide behind the pillar over here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20 plus your strength.
Roll 1d20. And should I roll stealth too, since I'm going behind a pillar?
In a moment.
Okay.
Let's see. That does hit, and then go ahead and roll a 1d4 plus your strength.
1d4 plus strength?
Yeah.
Alright. 1d4.
3. So, Gulag, as you're running around, you see a man quickly run from behind a pillar, come and deliver a sucker punch right into your face. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. Ponzi, roll stealth.
Okay.
And then Gulag, roll intelligence. You can beat it anyway. After receiving the punch, you look around the arena and can no longer find the offender once again.
Just saying, I think he has a lot more than 8 hit points now.
He does.
Yeah. This is gonna take a bit.
Gulag, not sure what's going on. No longer is becoming less and less afraid and more and more angry. Ah! No boo boo, no boo boo. Where? And then Gulag takes cover behind the opposite pillar and starts throwing rocks at the crowd.
Nice.
Okay, so go ahead and roll dexterity twice.
All right.
Okay, and then Ponzi, go ahead and roll perception.
Alright, perception. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So,
Jesus
Ponzi,
Christ.
as you see Gulag running around, you hear him flinging stones from behind the pillar towards your east. And that'll
Alright.
take us to Ponzi's turn.
Alright, I take out my dagger.
Okay.
I'm gonna move over to the pillar here. East? I heard it.
Okay.
I'm gonna slowly move over to the pillar here and like I can reach over the corner and just like
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna Yeah, I take out my dagger and I slash at I forgot the name, Gulag.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that.
Alright. It's my dagger attack, right?
With advantage, we'll say.
Okay, hold on. This is putting it to strength when I put it to dexterity. There we go. Advantage.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and then roll your sneak attack damage as well.
Sneak attack damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1d6, right?
Mm-hmm.
D6.
So, Gulag, as you're throwing stones towards the ground, you feel a knife drill into your back, taking 11 points of piercing damage. You start to feel this weird arcane energy start surging through you. Your hands are glowing, your eyes are filled with this bluish energy. You're now able to use your spells, and your where is it? Your intelligence has gone up to what I'm about to write.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. And that'll
It's
bring us
going
to Gulag's
Super
turn.
Wait, I didn't see the intel anywhere.
You'll have to click out of the character sheet and go back into it.
Oh, okay. Alright, so it's my turn?
Yep. You're now as intelligent as the average person.
Oh,
As Gulag feels the knife in his back, he suddenly comes to and realizes where he is. What the fuck am I doing here? Who are you? Oh, but you're the one who stabbed me in the back, boy. You're going to regret that.
Well,
Eyes
shit.
glowing blue. I can use
You can use any of those spells you want to use.
yeah. All right, and just click on it in public roll.
No, do it private.
Okay. Taste
it
the
out.
wrath of Gulag.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a 1d8.
For me?
Yeah. Do that private, and then roll a. Well, we'll see what happens. Roll that 1d8 private.
Oh shit, how do I roll?
So that would be slash
11.
GM roll space 1d8.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
Now do slash GM roll space 2d8.
Okay.
And then do, Jesus Christ, do slash GM roll space 1d8.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. So now do
Once more?
slash GM roll space 1d6 plus 4, and then do that once more.
What the fuck?
What the-
What is going on? I'm dead. That's it. I'm done.
Literally gonna be obliterated from the face.
Okay, so Gulag, turning around, you hold out your hands and a myriad of arcane colors start to flow in between your hands. You point them towards Ponzi. Two yellow rays of lightning quick strike you in the chest. You take 11 points of lightning damage.
Oh, that was horribly underwhelming.
Yeah, it just took a while to get there.
Yeah, it was 11.
Yeah,
Still a good amount of damage, but still.
and that will bring us to Ponzi's turn.
Ah, shit. Alright. Recoiling back, I'm gonna like run around this pillar. Wait, 1, 4, shit. And take out my short bow.
Okay, give
just-
me 1 second. Let's see. Okay. Go
And
for it. Now, if you use
should-
your short bow within melee range, you'd have to roll it with disadvantage.
hmm.
And since you guys are diagonal, you're considered 5 feet in melee range.
Fuck. Alright. Short bow or short sword. Fuck it. I'm using my dagger. Never mind. Fuck.
Yeah, you can do the dagger.
Yeah. And I'm gonna fucking stab this piece of shit in the neck.
Okay, go for it.
Alright.
11. So, Gulag, as the man runs around the pillar to try to dodge out of your sight line, he takes his dagger in his hand and attempts to stab it downwards into your neck. However, Ponzi, your dagger is stopped by some mystical force before you take your hand down.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Would you like to use your bonus action for anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking hide away. Here.
Okay,
Wait,
if
is that-
you chose to hide instead of disengage, he'd get an attack of opportunity on you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna disengage then.
Okay, so now you can move wherever you want to.
Would this count as... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6?
I think that's right at 30 feet for your speed.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be plenty fine. You just rounded the... Yeah, that's
Alright.
yeah, that's 30 exactly. Okay, that takes us to Gulag. Gulag, this man just attempted to stab you in the neck. However, it was stopped by some mystical barrier surrounding you, and he ran off behind another pillar to try to take cover.
But I know where he is.
Yep.
It's not your day, boy. You don't know who I am. You've awakened something you don't want to say. Gulag casually walks toward Ponzi with his eyes glowing ever brighter. And then, is there a recharge on some of these skills, or?
You can't use the same one successively,
Alright.
besides hitting people with rocks.
Alright, but I could use the other one, right?
Yep.
Okay. And how do I do that one? With the
Just
GM
click
roll?
on it first, and then
Mhm.
send it private.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm fucked.
So,
See you guys.
Gulag, as you walk towards Ponzi, your body starts to seem to become blurred as its visual form starts shifting and waving all over the place. Ponzi, anytime you try to attack Gulag, it would be awfully hard to hit him. Gulag, you can still move, but that was your action.
Alright. As Gulag moves even closer to Ponzi.
Wait, you can't be in
hi.
the same square, but
No, I can't. We'll just say, RP sake, I did move closer.
Yeah.
Today's not your day, boy! With Gulag's voice become even more mysterious and echoing.
Okay, so this takes us to Ponzi's turn. Ponzi,
I want to know what the crowd has to say.
at this point, as you started casting your spells, a dark hush grew over the crowd. However, seeing Ponzi in the state he is, bleeding like this, some people are cheering for you to finish it. But this takes us to Ponzi.
Alright. Fuck! I take out my other dagger.
Okay.
Wait, no, I still have my burglar's pack, right?
Did you give it to Azani or no?
No.
Okay.
It's still on me.
Okay.
Wait,
I have
gotta
Dorans.
Okay.
see what's in there, so hold on. Give me a minute.
Actually, while this is happening, can I just put my diplomat's pack in my bag of holding?
Sure.
Sweet.
A bag of 1,000 ball bearings.
You do indeed.
These ball bearings too? Oh.
They're just ball bearings. You can do whatever you want with them.
Alright, so I reach in to get up me ball bearings.
Okay.
And I try to hide away into the pillar over here while leaving a trail of ball bearings for him to try and slip on if he follows.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth, and then Gulag, roll your intelligence.
Alright. Intelligence.
Ooh. So, Gulag, as you're attempting to chase down this man, he disappears behind one of the pillars. You're not certain which one, and you notice now across, we'll say the entirety of the floor just for flavor, there's ball bearings everywhere. So now we'll say that even for Ponzi, both of you have halved movement speed.
Alright, halved movement.
So only 3 squares.
Correct.
Okay.
This takes us to Gulag's turn, which at the beginning of your turn you can make another intelligence check to try to find him.
Okay,
It's gonna be hard, but you can try.
Alright. I'm going with... No!
So, searching around the arena, you're not immediately sure where Ponzi is.
Where did you go, boy? I'm gonna squish you like a tomato!
You can still use your 3 squares to move somewhere, but
Okay. Let's just say Gulag's a little bit smarter this time and goes
well, you're
over-
a great deal smarter this time. But
Actually, yeah. Well, I'm not technically in the thing. I'm just like
no, yeah, that
right
was
here.
just for me to designate kind of the setup. Okay, and that takes us to Ponzi's turn. Ponzi, you hear as you peek kind of out of the pillar, and you hear Gulag kind of threatening you and taunting you.
Alright. I'm gonna try and bounce me arrow off the pill. Wait, what kind of what's
These
pillars
are
made
stone
out of?
pillars.
Stone pillars. Would things be able to bounce off them?
Can you climb the pillars?
He can certainly try, or you could certainly try.
I pick up one ball bearing and throw it at this pillar over here. Try and bounce it. Just I don't know.
And attempting to hit Gulag with it.
Yeah, just to see.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check. 15. So, Ponzi, as you hear Gulag, you pick up one of the ball bearings and toss it at the stone pillar. It ricochets, hitting Gulag, however, not too terribly hard. Gulag, you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
2 points. So there you go.
Do you want to use your bonus action for anything else? You're still considered hidden.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay, that takes us to Gulag. Gulag, you can attempt to find him again. Ponzi, roll another stealth check, we'll say. If he decides to look for you.
Okay. So should I just wait or
Yeah, just wait.
do it now? Oh, I just fucking did it anyway.
Oh, okay. So Gulag, do you want to attempt to look for him?
No. I'll do this roll again.
Okay, that effect is still on you from when you previously casted it.
Oh, really? How long does it last?
A while. However, your earth spell would indeed do something.
Oh, really? I thought this was... Okay. You're talking about this one, right?
No. The other spell.
Oh, that one. Oh, okay. I totally see. Okay. No, I got you. So I don't know where he is, and that means I can't affect him, right? Or
You don't know where he is. However, if you just blatantly cast, like, out of game, if you blatantly cast your spell, you're pretty much guaranteed to hit him. Which
Okay.
I would say you indeed do have the intelligence enough to attempt to use that.
Gulag, getting frustrated with these little games, he yells to the crowd, "Are you not entertained?" The crowd goes.
All right, Russell Crowe.
The crowd starts cheering and clapping and whooping for you.
He's like, "I can either drag this out or end this quick for you, boy." Gulag moves here
Okay.
and then rolls this move.
Okay, so, Ponzi, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, man. So, Ponzi, as you are sitting there, you hear a monstrous thump on the ground, and peeking around the pillar, you see Gulag slam his foot onto the ground. All of a sudden, a shockwave emanating from his foot shoots out and shakes the arena, creating some small cracks which the ball bearings slip through. However, you manage to jump before the shockwave hits you. You do still, however, take 1 point of bludgeoning damage, and we'll say the
Okay.
floor is cleared of the ball bearings. This brings us to Ponzi's turn.
All right. Hold on. 1 damage.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I take out my short bow now with
Okay.
the steel arrow,
Okay.
and I aim it towards fucking Gulag's neck. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and roll that flat. You're still hidden, so normally you'd have advantage. However, Gulag's form is still kind of shifting and shimmering, so which would be
okay.
disadvantage, so they cancel out.
So disadvantage.
No,
Or just flat?
they cancel out. It's just flat.
Nice.
Okay. So, Gulag, as you're running around the arena, stomping and casting your spells, all of a sudden an arrow strikes you right in the neck. You quickly rip it out, but you're now bleeding profusely. You take 11 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
Oh man, this is close. It is now Gulag's turn. Gulag, you now know that Ponzi is kind of using the pillar as cover,
All right.
as that
So-
would have given your position away.
Gulag comes over to where Ponzi is. Haha, you thought you could hide from me, you puny, worthless. Shit. I don't know if they
Well.
use that in that language.
I'm ready. Take me.
Alright, I'm going to make sure your mother knows your name from the damage I'll do to you today.
I'm an orphan,
And
you
I'm
cunt.
going to- She'll know anyway! And I'm gonna roll this.
Okay, so go ahead and do /GM roll space 1d8.
Oh shit.
It begins again.
Space 1d8.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, so now it's basically over, but we'll see what happens. Do 1d6 plus 4, and then Ponzi make a wisdom saving throw. Do /GM roll space 1d6 plus 4.
Okay.
Okay. Wisdom saving roll.
Yes.
Ah, shit. I'm fucked. That's it, guys.
So, Ponzi, as you're sitting there staring down into the face of Gulag, he holds his hands out again as some lights start to shimmer, a whole rainbow of colors in between his hands. All of a sudden, the colors in between his hands stop on orange, and Gulag, putting his left arm down to his side, holding his right arm flat palm towards Ponzi, shoots a spray of acid out onto Ponzi, dealing 5 points of acid damage. As you fall unconscious, the crowd cheers and the announcer ends. Well, that was splendid. A bit slow at the beginning. However, we shall now proceed on to the next fight. Well done, Gulag. So, Gulag, a guard comes from the west side, and you can see the iron bars retract into the ground, and a guard comes and escorts you into the passageway and tells you to wait for a moment.
Am I back to
You will be, but for right now you're hidden entirely.
Okay.
Ponzi, although you're unconscious, the rest of the party can see a team of medical people come out and pick up your body and place it on a stretcher and then carry it past. The iron bars retracted into the hallway and down the hallway past all of the cells into a room on the left where they begin giving you attention. So, the announcer, calling out again, says, yes, the next fight shall be between the Harpy and, oh, look at that, we have another rogue. So,
God.
a guard comes up to Dalrin's cell and says, it's your time. Dalrin says, I'll have you know, I'm the best fighter there is here. And the guard just kind of scoffs at him, as Dalrin is sitting waiting for the match to begin. Both of the iron bars suddenly retract as the announcer says, yes, without further ado, let the next fight begin! And you guys can see now Dalrin is squaring off with a harpy, a woman fused with a bird, who as soon as she hits the floor, she flies about 5 feet into the air. Let's see how this plays out.
Is there any way that we can change our spells at this time?
Yeah, I'll allow anyone who wants to change out one spell.
One spell. Okay. Fine.
I was also wondering, what's the situation in our cells? Like, are we all in cells next to each other, and are there guards
You guys
around?
are in cells next to each other. In the hallway, it's currently... oh wait, hold on, I failed his initiative throw. In the hallway, the guards are paying close attention to you. It's dimly lit, however, it's daytime, and the light from the arena is kind of shining in through the hallway. You guys are in decently roomy cells, just iron cages next to each other with a provided bed and a place to relieve yourselves. So you could talk to each other and see each other through the bars.
Okay. Cause...
Is it possible am I close enough to do an arcane check on like the bars?
Yeah, you could if you wanted to walk forward and check the bars.
I mean like the bars go into the Coliseum arena.
Oh no, you're not. You are currently. You could see that. However, in order to check those, you need to be like almost point blank range.
Okay.
You could check the bars in your cell, however.
I guess I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that. Eight. So, as you place your hands on the bars immediately turn icy cold and begin to frost over, and you take your hands off immediately, assuming they're enchanted in some way, shape, or form. As the fight begins, the harpy flies over to Dalrin and attempts to make a multi-attack on him. And we'll see how this goes. Oh man. Okay, so the harpy flying over towards Dalrin, screaming, slashes at him with her claws. The first time he takes a slash across the chest and retracts, bleeding decently heavily. The next time as the claws come again, Dalrin manages to dodge out of the way. Dalrin looks at the harpy and retaliates with his rapier, managing to stab the harpy in the stomach and withdrawing it as blood is flowing down his blade. Let's see. The harpy screams, and with a club that she was carrying, attempts to whack Dalrin over the head with it. Missing as Dalrin dodges again. Dalrin moves to the opposite side of the arena, turns around, equips his short bow, and attempts to fire an arrow as the harpy is kind of turning around to look at him. Or he has a crossbow, preparing his crossbow. Shooting the harpy in the back as the harpy reaches around and plucks the arrow out, blood flowing down her backside. The harpy turns to him and once again goes right up to him and attempts to bear down on him with her talons and her claws. Oh,
The crowd goes wild. Woo!
yes, the crowd this time is very, very happy at all the bloodshed, screaming, clapping, just rooting in honor of the good fight.
Kill, 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 kill.
Let's see. The harpy, slashing down with her claws, manages... What's his AC? Manages to slash through the air as Dalrin ducks and rolls away to the side, standing up and dusting himself off, quickly putting his crossbow back and again unsheathing his rapier, taking a stance and preparing to stab her through the neck. The harpy flies and takes a step back away from the rapier, as Dalrin was able to not find purchase in her neck as the harpy dodged backwards. She comes over and swoops again right in front of him, and once again attempts to bear down, making a multi-attack. The harpy reaches her talons into Dalrin's shoulders, picks him up off the ground and flies about 10 feet into the air. The talons now currently sinking into Dalrin's shoulders as he cries out as the blood flows down. Dalrin passes out from blood loss and the harpy drops him onto the floor. The harpy flutters around the arenas before returning through the iron gates as they retract for her. A team once again comes out and two guards put Dalrin onto a stretcher as they carry them past everybody in the cells. Everybody can see that Dalrin is bleeding decently profusely and is no longer conscious. This takes us to... I lost it. This takes us to... Luke and Azani.
Oh shit!
So,
Wait, before they go,
yep.
I would like to ask Azani. Azani, do you still have that tankard?
I do.
Could I have perhaps borrow it?
Sure
She would
thing.
be unable to give it to you as you guys are in adjacent cells. However, the iron bars are kind of blocking off any interaction you guys would be able to have with each other.
Okay. That's unfortunate.
As I leave, I'll, I guess, drop it on the ground so they can't, so the guards can't see it, but he can.
Okay. Felfis, do you want to attempt to reach out for that?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a stealth check first. So, Felfis, as you lean close in towards the bars of your cell and attempt to reach out towards the ground where the tankard is, one of the guards comes over and kicks your hand back into the cell before taking the tankard for himself and taking a long swig out of it.
Wasn't it empty?
Oh, the empty tankard? I thought she meant the big...
No.
Oh,
No, I just wanted.
He's disappointed.
I just wanted a cup.
Yeah, we'll roll with it. Yeah, he goes to take a swig out of it, finding it empty, disappointed. He actually tosses it into your cell.
Perfect.
While she's leaving, I'm actually gonna give her a little bardic inspiration. Be like, "You can do it. I know you can."
Okay, so Azani, on any attack roll, you would be able to add a 1d6 to it once.
And it lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah, so pretty much the duration of the fight. Azani, as you walk towards the iron bars, you can see someone vaguely familiar sitting across the Colosseum as the announcer comes out. Yes, this next fight shall be with Azani the Druid versus Luke the Barbarian. This should be a good fight. The bars sink into the ground as you both enter the Colosseum. Both of you select your tokens and roll initiative. Once I make his visible, yeah.
Well then.
Okay, so, Luke, for this fight, you were promised a decent amount of money and information if you win. However, you do know that is your comrade Azani on the other side of the arena.
Did they promise me anything?
They didn't tell you guys much. They just told you were forced to fight. As
Absolutely useless.
yeah, as kind of punishment for not cooperating as well. You guys all got kind of lumped in the same group. There may be something provided you win. However, you don't really know. So Luke, what is your action?
I was gonna say, am I really good as a fighter?
Are you asking me that?
No.
Or are you telling that to your
Whoever.
character?
It's like, never mind. Retract this statement. Azani, what are you doing here?
Weren't you there? We were captured.
No, he wasn't there. He was on
He was sleeping like mostly
I
the whole
know.
time.
he was on separate events, but
Fucking hell.
What'd you say, Sheeny?
I said, weren't you there? We were captured.
I was asleep. Doing something else.
I think she's speaking in character.
Yeah.
they both are.
He knows though.
Oh,
Uh,
I know
as you
my
guys are
reticence.
sitting there conversing, the crowd starts to boo and yell, "Fight! Fight! Fight! Fight!"
Ooh, fight!
I too also yell to fight.
Can we do little small actions and little chat beforehand? Or do we have to wait for our turn?
You guys can keep going what you're doing, but not for too much longer.
Look,
Okay. I'll take out my axe and sort of heft it in my hand a bit and say, I won't pull any punches if you don't.
okay. But I've been promised some gold and some information, so let's have some fun.
Fight! 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 Fight!
The infighting is actually real.
Man,
So Luke,
Is that-
what are your actions?
Is that box elevator or no?
No, that's not actually in the arena. That was just what I used to represent the Iron Gates.
Now, because I'm making this decision because I'm pretty sure I can't get through the bars and I can't escape in time.
Well, the guards have
So-
the bars have withdrawn. You stepped into the arena and they retracted again, cutting off your escape.
Yeah.
Would like to rage and attack her.
Did
Okay.
you need that much?
So go ahead and roll the attack.
Yeah.
As Luke charges you, flying into a barbarian rage.
actually, before this happens, how far away am I from them currently?
From them, probably about 40-ish feet. It's down the hallway. You can kind of look to the side out of your cell and kind of see them now. Do you want to like do something? Okay. So, Luke, charging towards Azani in your barbarian rage, you wield your great axe. Azani ducks as the great axe slams into the stone behind her, with your barbarian strength leaving a gash in the stone as some debris falls onto the back of Azani.
I am my turn.
Alright, that takes us to Azani.
I have a DM question.
Yes.
If I cast a concentration spell, no wait. Oh. Can I cast like something, say bark skin, and then wild shape and keep bark skin? It says it's a transient.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
But go ahead and link the bark skin if you're going to use it.
I'm still thinking. And that would be like a full action, right?
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't be able to do
both
both.
of those, or can I just
You wouldn't
do
be
one?
able to do
Okay.
both, no.
So
You'd
just
only be-
one and move.
You'd be able to cast either spell and then move.
Okay.
As long as it says it takes an action, that's your action.
Okay. I will cast jump. Let me link it. On myself.
Okay. So, channeling some green energy in your hand, you touch yourself and can feel the muscles in your leg pulse with magic energy, increasing your jump height. What do you want to do?
How tall are the pillars?
About 15 feet. You could jump, but you'd still have to make an athletics check in order to pull yourself up.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll go for this pillar.
Okay, so go ahead and make an athletics check. Luke, as Azani, channels some energy and casts a spell on herself and proceeds to jump and fly through the air towards one of the pillars.
Nice swing.
She is kind of over up in your head, so we'll say you can make an attack with disadvantage as she flies on top of the pillar. Or rather jumps, but...
Oh, natural one.
What? So, as Azani jumps over your head, you reach up with your great axe and attempt to swing, trying to catch a foot, leg, anything. However, she's just barely out of your reach as she perches atop the pillar. This brings us to Luke.
And the crowd goes wild.
The crowd sits there and gasps at the amazement of what just happened.
My brand!
My brand!
I'm trying to keep it immersed, guys.
So, Luke, what are you doing?
Is there any way... How tall is the pillar?
It's about 15 feet. You could attempt to climb it, or you could attempt to throw something, or your axe, or whatever you can.
Is there anything on the floor?
What are you looking for? It's kind of dusty. There's some tomatoes and a couple rocks on the ground.
That tomato.
Go ahead and make an investigation roll, however. 15. So towards over where there was the giant slash in the wall from your previous attack on Azani, you see a pretty sizable chunk of sharp stone sitting off to your east.
Pick it up. Just reposition myself and just chuck it at Azani.
Okay, so go ahead
Now,
and
y'all get down here.
roll a d20 with your strength modifier.
Get over here.
Get over here! 12. Oh! So, as you pick up the stone and huck it at Azani, she just manages to duck under it. As it sails into the audience, you hear a bunch of screams of horror as the announcer comes. Now, let's be careful, please! Do you want to use any more of your movement?
Behind the pillar.
Okay, this takes us to Azani.
How long does his rage last? Do I
What-
know that?
It
His
lasts.
character.
I'll say you've seen it enough. It lasts 1 minute, which in combat, every full round is 6 seconds. And I believe
Okay, 10 rounds.
this would be the end of round number 3, I want to say.
Okay.
Oh, okay. What the hell?
That's pretty quick.
Well, with only 2 people, it goes by pretty fast.
So, I haven't.
That was
I guess I
round
haven't
one.
analyzed him before. What kind of armor is he wearing?
He doesn't wear any armor. However, he has
Oh, really?
natural immunities due to his barbarianness and rage. But no, your first action was swinging at Azani. Azani jumped over the pillar. Oh, this would be the end of round 2. Because you just tried to huck a stone at her. Now it's Azani's turn, so this is the end of round 2.
Okay, from here I'm going to use heat metal. Let me link that.
Okay.
Oh.
On his. He's using a great axe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, on that. Do I have to roll damage for that? Let's see.
You do. You'd have to roll 2d8. And I believe Luke would have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ow.
Not against the damage. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Luke, as you're sitting there wielding your great axe, waiting to attack Azani, it starts to glow red hot. You take 7 points of fire damage. However, you are still able to wield the great axe despite its high heat levels.
Damn, what the heck?
Do you want to move?
I'll end my turn.
Okay, this takes us to Luke.
I'll sort of crouch down on the pillar and just observe cautiously.
Oh,
Are you
behind
going
the
to
pillar.
keep concentrating on the heat metal?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I'll take another rock and chuck it at her.
Okay, go ahead and roll 1d20 plus your strength modifier.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I told you guys, it was really, really close.
Holy shit.
12. So once again, you pick up a stone off of the floor, and in your barbarian rage, you yell out and huck it at Azani, just missing her. However, this time it crashes over here, and with all the force you put behind it, leaves a dent into the wall before it falls out onto the
slippery.
ground.
I'm down there now.
Do you want to use any of your movement as well?
I just did. Let's go back behind the pillar.
What's he behind?
Okay.
Oh, he's behind it.
Okay. That takes us to Azani.
What turn was that? 5? Are we on 5 now?
No, they're
No,
on 4.
this is the beginning of 4.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have much range though. I'm gonna have to come down. Hold on.
Well, you can keep focusing on this. Let's see.
He's behind. He's behind the pillar.
Until your heat metal ends, you can use a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns to cause the damage again.
Ooh.
Even if he's behind the pillar? Kind of weird.
Oh no, it would. Well, yeah, no, it would actually fade as soon as you ducked back behind the pillar. So if you wanted to, you'd have to attempt to jump to the other pillar and get him at a diagonal.
That's exactly what I'm gonna try to do.
Okay, go ahead and make an acrobatics check.
Okay.
Please fail. Please fail.
Inspiration! Use it.
8. So, attempting to leap from the top of the one pillar to the other, your stomach hits the edge, and as your fingers fumble, make a dexterity saving throw. As your fingers fumble,
Absolute
grasping for
trash.
purchase, you slip off and slide down behind
Joe-
and on the floor, behind the pillar opposite of Luke and on the ground level now. From hitting your stomach on the edge of the pillar, you will take, we'll say, oh, I just zoomed in on everything. I didn't mean to do that. You take 5 points of bludgeoning
Holy shit,
damage
you ran
from
into
the
that thing
impact.
hard.
Tis but a flesh wound. Do I still have movement?
You have, let's see, what's your movement normally? You have 2
25.
squares of movement.
Diagonally too? I'm going to move over here.
Okay,
And into my turn.
okay, that takes us to Luke. This is the beginning of round 5.
Run over here, then run straight and swing with frenzied rage.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
Advantage.
Do you... Are you using the, whatchamacallit, the attack thing? I forget what it's called.
Reckless.
Yeah. Are you using
Sure.
that? Okay. So go ahead and roll that.
Can I see Luke at this time?
Finally a hit.
You are able to see the side of Luke, yes.
I'm going to scream at him using my cutting words and say, "That looks like Luke. I bet he can't hit anything."
So as you yell out to Luke, your words passed, however the magic behind them is lost as soon as the sound waves pass through the iron bars.
What a bitch.
Azani, Luke comes bearing down upon you with his great axe, slashing you across the chest, dealing 14 points of slashing damage.
Hoi.
You're starting to bleed and seep into your armor a little bit.
Would
Like
that be
swing
considered magic?
Your cutting words?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's magic. It's more just I learned how to use.
Correct. It is magic words.
No, it says you learn how to use your wit to distract, confuse, and otherwise sap the confidence and confidence of others. But it doesn't say it's like I use my magic word.
Let me see. Let me see. So go ahead. Let's see. Okay, so we'll say go ahead and make a performance roll.
Fuck, dude, come on.
So as you scream these words out towards Luke, unfortunately over the crowd cheering at the bloodshed that had just been spilled, the words are lost into the cacophony of people cheering. This brings us to Azani's turn.
Crowd's cheering. Woo!
I am going to use.
Wait, I'm not done with my turn.
He's not?
Oh, you're not?
Oh, Frenzy Raid.
Okay.
I can use a bonus action to swing at her again.
Oh, I thought you already.
Oh.
Okay,
my
go ahead and roll
once.
that.
Yikes.
I'm scared.
19. So as Luke
Oh
once
my
again
god!
wields his
You
great
unconscious?
axe from. Yeah, she's for sure unconscious, I believe. Yeah. So
Oh,
as Luke
fuck.
swings his great axe from the other direction, slashing Azani in an X pattern across the chest, she falls unconscious from the blood loss. The announcer calls off, "Well, that was a little grotesque. However, this ends the fight and shall bring us on to the next one. Guards, if you could please, yes."
I immediately pick up
Berserk
Azani.
over.
Immediately
So-
pick up Azani and just follow the guard.
So the guard turns to you and says, "Sir, you're gonna have to put her down. She's not supposed to go with you.
There's my kill.
She's going to need medical attention, and that staff is on the other side of the building."
Can I just follow you? Or no?
Make a persuasion roll as he sits there, kind of looking around at the guards, kind of the captain sitting in the crowd. He sits there and says, "Yes, I suppose though. Come this way with me." And as the bars were checked, both of you, you carrying Azani with the two medical guards kind of sitting over at the stretcher, they sit there and shrug their shoulders and just follow you all out east and past all the cells. You see the rest of your party members. Would you like to interact at all? As you're walking past the iron bars out of the fighting pit, you see the rest of your party members in holding cells.
I'm just too focused for Azani, physically.
Okay, does anybody else want to interact with Luke as he passes by?
No, I'm kidding. Imagine.
Okay, so Luke and Azani, you guys go down that east hallway a little ways, passing by all the holding cells and turning towards the left and enter a room. Luke, you set Azani down on a table set up with Dalrin and Ponzi's forms on tables nearby, a full team of staff treating to all of them. And as you put Azani down, the two medical guards ask you to step aside and they begin patching her up immediately.
Damn, the entire party's getting fucked. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Jesus Christ.
Fucking gulag somehow.
I knew Gulag was gonna nuke someone.
I can't wait for Felthus
Wait,
and
hold on.
Morad.
First, Blow, can I ask though?
Huh.
Since I use a steel arrow, and how much damage does that give extra damage too?
That gives +1 on the damage roll, but I added that in the fight.
Oh, okay, alright. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Alright.
While I'm on the table, I'm going to groggily
What?
say, Bested by an orc. I'll never live this down.
Same here.
So, Marcello, a guard, comes to your cell and says, "You're next, sir, please." And he opens the gate and escorts you out.
Let's do this.
With another guard behind you and this guard in front of you, he walks you towards the iron bars, and as you're sitting there, you stare up towards the right, which is that green rectangle is a kind of a skybox-ish setup. It's got an awning over it, however, the structure has a flat floor with about a 3-foot-high wood wall, and you can see 2 faces sitting on chairs behind in the shaded area. And the announcer comes off and says, "Yes, now, our next fight is going to be, a giant frog versus a half-elf. Where we found this frog, please don't ask us. However, it's here, it's ready to fight." So, from the other
God,
side,
mumbles confusion.
from your viewpoint behind the guards now, you see a frog that's about 4 feet in height. It looks pretty weighty, and it is just slapping its tongue against the iron bars, and every time it hits, it rings out and thud.
Oh shit!
You swear you can hear the... Oh, I need to grab your character. Where are you? There you are. And you swear you can hear the shockwaves traveling in the floor. Cool. The announcer says, "Yes, now, the fighters ready? Let us now begin." And the bars sink into the ground as the frog leaps past the iron bars and lands on the ground with a thick cloud of dust, and the ground shakes a little bit under you. The frog, quickly darting its head around, looking at all of the arena contestants, shoots its tongue out into the stands and snatches a loaf of bread that one of the people was about to dig into, and the frog very rapidly, you can hear the air whooshing as it retracts its tongue and swallows the loaf of bread whole. Both of you guys, please roll. Well, I guess just Marcello. I'm not talking to the frog. Roll initiative.
I actually can't click my character.
You cannot. Are you on select mode and everything?
Hey!
Okay.
Got it. Come on, baby! Yeah!
Whoa! All right.
Damn.
So, the frog immediately takes a few small steps forward in front of it, and then leaps high through the air, landing on top of this pillar. It sits there and looks at you, its eyes kind of going in all directions. However, that does end its turn. What are you gonna do against the frog?
Can I see how much? Can I just like glance at it, kind of give it a good look, and see how much it weighs?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Nice.
I would say this frog weighs approximately 600 pounds, so for its leg muscles to get it through the air like that is mighty impressive.
Well, there goes my plan. So anyway, I can like
Holy shit.
motive. Like, what does it think of me?
I'll only allow like one
Bitch.
check per action.
Well, to just kind of back up a little bit near this pillar.
Okay, and
That'll be my turn.
okay. So, are you behind the pillar or just to the side of it?
Just next to it, yeah.
Okay, the frog looks at you, its tongue kind of sitting there lolling out of its mouth a little bit as it takes a monstrous leap into the air and attempts to crash down on you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Great success.
Hold on. This is not rolling. I will have to do this stuff by hand.
You don't have a hand, bitch. Oh.
Oh, goes
Oh,
Woo!
The frog crashes down upon you, driving you to the floor, dealing 3 points of bludgeoning damage before it backs off again and looks at you quizzically. It is now your turn.
Bitch.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. I was surprised, but
Yeah, I was like, I thought I was gonna just one hit.
You're a champ. You just took a 600-pound frog jumping on you.
yeah, dude.
Yeah. If only it was smaller. Shit. I guess I'm just gonna pull out my longsword and wait. I'm going to. I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna pull out my tomato,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to reason with the frog. Be like, "I'll give you this tomato if you be my pet."
Go ahead and roll animal handling.
Nice.
Wow!
Incredible.
How could I get the frog?
So, the frog slowly takes a few steps towards you before gently lifting its mouth and taking the tomato out of your hand.
I'm gonna try to pet it. A little pet.
Gonna try to pet it.
Yeah, a little pet.
Okay, go ahead and roll sleight of hand, or not sleight of hand, animal handling again. Goddamn. Okay. So you tap the frog on the head, which for you it's about up to stomach, low chest level. You feel how slimy and wet it is, and it just looks up at you, its eyes darting in all directions. However, you think a small smile plays across its face. The crowd, a hush falls over the crowd at first. However, immediately the crowd begins clapping and whooping and hollering.
I turn to the crowd and I kind of runs. And as you can see, this beast can no longer fight.
You hear the announcer yell to the crowd, "Please, quiet, quiet. Well, I suppose as this man, not in the traditional sense, defeated the monster, albeit uniquely, he is the victor of the match."
Nice!
You see the bars on the east side go down, allowing you to enter should you wish.
The only one that didn't get fucked up.
I'm gonna look at
Earl's
the announcer,
faster.
wherever he's at.
He's up
Like-
here in the, I gotta make sure I can. He's up here in the skybox, kind of standing right at the edge so you can see him clearly.
Who's he looking for?
He's looking at the announcer.
Excuse me, Mr. Announcer.
Yes, sir. What is it?
Can I keep the frog?
Well, Go ahead and roll persuasion. A 13, he sits there, kind of thinks to himself, and he turns around and disappears from view for a second before coming back. And he says, What use have you for this frog?
What use do you have for this frog?
Well, the use you just saw exhibited.
But look at this gentle creature.
And as you turn to the frog turns towards you, and its tongue shoots out about a foot and slaps itself on top of the head before retracting. No, its head, its own head.
See? It's practically harmless.
Go ahead and roll persuasion with advantage, we'll say.
Nice.
It's gonna be fit.
The announcer turns behind him, and you see the back of his head for about 20 seconds before he turns around and says, Sure, consider that a prize for the victory.
Well, oh, whatever.
The bars are still down, kind of waiting for you to...
Can I see the gender of this,
Why you gotta do that? Fucking crowd.
Go ahead
600-pound
and
frog.
roll animal handling as you're kind of kneeling beside the frog, kind of attempting to duck your head
Wow, what the heck?
under it.
I thought I was the druid.
In a description I'd like to not get into, the frog is female.
Alright, come on, Princess Toad, let's go home.
Princess! Oh my god. I hope this is a new permanent member of the podcast.
You're welcome, thank you, I'll be
We've
here.
got.
Okay. We now have. Hold on.
Princess the frog.
Princess.
Princess Toad the frog, please.
I put a picture I think would be a nice picture in off top.
What did you want to name her?
Princess Toad.
Princess Toad?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna put that.
Benego doesn't get why that's funny though.
I do exactly know why it's funny. That's why I chose the
It's better.
name.
Did you play The Witcher before this flow?
Actually,
Did I?
You described the Heart of Stone's boss.
I haven't even beaten the Griffin in Witcher yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the name didn't save. Hold on, I gotta save the name. Okay, so you begin making your way past the iron bars and into the waiting area, and the guard kind of looks at you and then looks behind you and looks at Princess Toad and says, "Well, that's curious. However, just take it back into your cell with you."
sounds good.
So you and Princess Toad walk back into your cell. It kind of gently hops along behind you.
I'm so excited, guys.
Would you
I
like
believe
to?
you go.
Would you like to do any more interactions with Princess Frog before the next fight?
Nope, I'm all good.
Okay.
I mean, like, just like petting her and stuff like that, but that's all.
Okay. So, the announcer comes on,
I'll be right back.
and everyone once again hears, "Well, that was surely interesting. Yes, let us move on to the next fight. This is our captain of the guard, Mr. McGraw, versus a gnome warlock. This should be quite interesting indeed."
Okay, I'd like to do some prep before this fight.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna take one of my bottles of fine wine, and I'm going to
Chug
pour
it.
out enough of it that I can put that stone potion into it.
Which stone potion?
The one Gulag told me.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, roll a stealth check to try to covertly hide this from the guard. 17. So, discreetly as the guard is approaching your cell, you tell him, just one moment, please. Then you turn around and discreetly pour out the wine, switching it out with the potion of paralyzing.
Alright, and before that, I'd also have like to cast Unseen Servant.
Okay, go ahead and roll another stealth check. 16. So still turned around, having just poured out the wine, you manage to discreetly cast your Unseen Servant.
Okay.
The guard says, "Sir, is that enough time?"
Yes.
I'm
I'm
back.
done.
What I missed?
Felfis is about to fight, so the guard opens the cell door as they
Hello?
swing outward. Can you
Hear
not
us?
Did you
hear?
hear us?
Zorul?
Roll.
He can't hear us.
Zerol's dead.
No, he said he was gonna be right back.
No, he just
He's
said
back.
he couldn't hear us.
Oh, shit. Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna take a quick pee break while this gets figured out. What?
Zero?
What the fuck did you post an off topic, Brandon? Oh, cringe dump.
Zerul?
Zerul, speak to us.
Yeah, when Blel gets back, he needs to change the server. Because he can't connect to the voice.
Okay, did Zerul get sorted out?
Nah, you need to switch the server location for Discord.
Okay. Give me 1 Secarino. Streamer mode enabled. Cancel that shit. I don't want that. It wouldn't let me see the options without Thingmadoo. Server settings.
Hello?
Hold on.
Hello?
Can you
Yeah.
hear?
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay.
Never mind.
Oh, pigs.
So, Felfiz, as you approach the iron bars and sitting there, is your wine bottle just in your hand, or? If you leave, I'll tell you, if you leave it in your hand, the guard is probably not going to allow you to take it in like that.
Would I have my bag with me?
Yeah, you still have all
Okay.
your possessions and whatnot.
Okay, so I just put it back in my bag then.
Okay. The announcer calls out when the crowd starts cheering. Yes, we know McGraw is our favorite. However, please cheer for the other guy as well. With that being said, let the fight commence. And the crowd starts roaring and cheering as the iron bars drop down into the floor. You can now see McGraw sitting on the other side of the arena, and he says,
Well, you've gotten what you've asked for. This is what you wanted, and this is what you'll get.
But McGraw, before we start, could I propose we have a little toast?
I'm not very interested.
make a persuasion roll.
Oh, please, for the love of fuck. Yes.
He looks at you and looks at the crowd, and they're all kind of awing over the term of endearment, and he says,
I suppose one toast can't hurt.
and he walks over towards you.
Oh, something happened to the
Getting
wine,
his-
didn't it?
Getting a Johnny's tankard, I pour him a glass and proceed to give it to him.
He takes it from you and looks at it for a while, swirling it around, and hands it back and says,
Why don't we allow the poorer to take the first drink?
Well, that's fine with me. So I'm gonna have my unseen servant in front of me,
okay?
and I'm gonna have the servant absorb the drink, acting as if I am drinking it.
Okay, hold on. This is about to get real technical.
This is some Naruto bullshit right now, dude.
Hey man, I got a pet frog. Anything can happen.
Okay, so we'll say go ahead and roll an Arcana check, as this would take a great deal of magical mastery over the unseen servant to pull off.
Ow.
So, the unseen servant moves in front of you, and as he hands you the tankard, the unseen servant present, you begin to bring it to your lips. Would you like to take any last efforts?
Okay, McGraw, how about this? How about we take a drink at the same time?
He looks at you and says, well,
I don't know that I have my own tankard on me. Would you happen to have another?
Oh, no, that's quite fine. I'll just drink straight from the bottle.
make a persuasion roll.
Oh.
He looks at you and says,
Well, Yes, I suppose that is quite apropos. Very well.
Alright, I hand it right back to him.
He takes it from your hands and begins to bring it to his lips.
And I start to bring the bottle to my lips.
He brings it down ever so slightly and says,
Oh, my manners.
and he holds it out and says,
Here, cheers.
Cheers.
and you
Give it
guys
a little.
both clink the bottles together. He brings the tankard to his lips and begins drinking.
And just let it slip on the unseen servant.
Okay.
Meatwhip
let's,
said I think I'ma invest in one when I build my PC.
let's see
It sound awesome.
how he fares. So, as he begins drinking the tankard, he gets about halfway through before he puts it down and says,
This is a very curious wine. What kind of wine is it?
Old kind of wine? Oh, I do believe it is. Now what was it? It's a very, very interesting gnomish wine.
Earthy, they say.
and as
The
you're sitting,
name,
as you're
I
sitting there and
can't quite
speaking,
pronounce and
he starts looking stiffer, and the tankard drops from his hands and onto the floor.
and I take out my dagger. And
we
I
see this happening?
stab him in the neck.
Oh,
yes,
shit.
you do. Okay, so go ahead and roll your attack. As McGraw sits there, and his eyes just open wide, and his mouth begins to open but freezes in place.
What the fuck?
Fuck damage. Holy
McGraw,
shit.
who is now completely paralyzed, as you reach out and attempt to stab him in the neck with his dagger, his frozen form falls over backwards, and you swing and cut the air.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I don't care. Fucking. Okay,
But
I'm
what
gonna
does the crowd say?
I'm gonna cast Burning Hands on him.
Well, hold on, he's gonna attempt to make another save.
Oh, okay.
The crowd is booing at this very, very obvious display of bad form, and even the announcer comes on and says,
Dirty, but I suppose legal.
So while this is happening,
What?
I scream, "That was dirty," and use my cutting words on Feltes.
okay. So, hold on.
Infighting.
Go ahead and roll performance.
Wait a minute. Before all this, can I yell that, as you can see, he's clearly not able to fight, so wouldn't that give me the victory?
Meatwhip said BTW. I'm playing
let
some
me
hoops
see.
if we're down.
Hold on 1 second.
Man, you gotta with this plus A modifier is literally the only thing that's holding me up in these rolls.
So, go ahead and make a persuasion roll, and then Marcello, roll a 1d6.
Yeah.
Yes! Oh, come on, be good enough, for love of fuck.
Oh no.
Oh, that brings it to 15. The guy, the announcer comes to the beginning of the skybox and looks at you and says,
He's twitching a little bit.
and indeed you look down at McGraw's form and some of his muscles are beginning to twitch and move ever so slightly, and he says,
The fight shall commence as he's attempting to pull himself
Yeah.
through.
Son of a bitch. Alright, now I'm gonna cast Burning Hands, see how that goes.
okay.
Although, that would be a check, but I don't think he can make that check,
Yeah.
can he?
No, he cannot. So,
Okay.
as you sit there and look down at him, you put your thumbs together with your fingers out, flames beginning to interconnect them, and you hold them out as a burst of flame shoots out over McGraw. Go ahead and roll the attack. McGraw taking 10 points. Oh, I didn't have his health in the health bar. That doesn't really matter, but it makes it easier for me. Taking 10 points of fire damage. As he sits there, you can see his mouth begin to tighten slightly.
Titan.
Yes. He.
Okay.
I need his AC.
He's allergic to fire.
He is going to attempt to save himself. Poor McGrod, what a rough life.
He
Oh.
kind of deserves it.
McGrod sits and starts stirring, rolling on the ground before slowly coming to his feet, and he takes a quick stretch and says,
Well, those were some very dirty tricks, sir.
he takes a few steps back, however that will end his turn.
He's pretty civil about this, considering.
Both of you guys, well, I guess just Marcel or Felfiz, go ahead and roll initiative. As
Didn't it take me like 5 minutes to get unstuck?
yeah, he rolled pretty good.
Jeez.
Oh, well, he did roll good in 14. That's yep. Okay.
Oh, so did I, and that's my only good roll. Okay,
Okay.
let's
What is your action?
let's cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay, so go ahead and roll. Oh, at what level? Oh wait, you
no
can only
level.
do it. You okay? Never mind. It's only 5th level. So go ahead and roll the attack.
Yes.
13. So you point your right hand middle or pointing finger out at McGrod and shoot a beam directly into his chest plate. You can see the chest plate cave in a little bit as McGrod kind of. It takes a little bit of the wind out of him, and he looks at you and starts. He looks up and starts smiling and says,
Well, this is going to be very, very interesting indeed.
"Do you want to move?"
I'm trying to see if that would help me. Not sure though.
Probably not, but you certainly still can.
Climb the pillar, bitch! That was from the crowd. I don't know what you're talking about.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna just move kind of behind the pillar.
Okay, so McGrod yells out,
Oh, you cannot hide from the law.
and he rushes. You see him slide. Damn it! I can only put him on the intersections and not in the squares, unless I do it by hand. So it's really annoying. But you see him rush and slide in the dust past your shins, and as he passes by your shins, he takes a slash at your legs.
Oh.
And your AC is 12.
Whoops.
Cutting you in the shins, dealing 7 points of piercing damage. He stands up from his maneuver and dusts himself off a little bit and says,
What did you think of that?
and that ends his turn.
At this time, I would like to yell at McGrod. McGrod, you're the hero. You're the hero we deserve, and the hero we need for some bardic inspiration.
Okay!
Marcelo, you're a piece of shit.
McGrod now has a 1d6 inspiration die to spend.
Does Marcelo also hate gnomes? I don't get it.
No.
He was trying to be buddy-buddy with McGrod to get in his good graces.
Oh,
Okay, can I see if he noticed it was me that said it?
Sure, go ahead and make a perception roll.
Fuck, dude, come on.
11. So you lean out, and in the dust cloud that happened from McGrod sliding around, you can see into it the silhouette of a smile on his face.
Yes.
You turn and clap your hands and yell yes to Princess Toad.
Yes.
Princess's Toad.
Happily petting.
Princess's Toad, as you pet her, her head bops up and down a little bit, and her tongue shoots out and arcs over her head and strikes herself in the eyeball and then returns.
Majestic.
I love
This takes us to Felfus.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad we lied last night. Well, last time.
Right?
Yeah, shit.
I'm really happy.
Okay. I'm gonna run 2, 3, okay. Over here.
Okay.
and I'm going to cast Shatter,
Okay.
and I'm going to cast it. Okay, like right here,
Wait,
More or less-
can you ping that again?
somewhere on the pillar.
Okay.
How tall are the pillars again?
15 feet. Made of stone. They're kind of square bricks stacked on top of each other, but they have a couple scratch marks and look a little worn from use.
Okay. So,
Those take damage as well, right?
They do?
And they have disadvantage.
Yeah, it has. I don't know how to roll for a pillar, but it has.
I'm sure there's.
Oh, it says a
some-
creature. It just says a
Oh,
non-magical
okay.
object.
I mean,
yeah. Okay.
we could
Okay.
debate about what if a pillar is a creature.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna want to cast it at the pillar, so not only does it hit the pillar, and hopefully kill McGrud, because that's the goal.
So
But
go ahead and.
The spell itself will also be hitting McGrud.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll that.
Da-da-da.
Nice.
Hey, he's going to attempt to make his Constitution saving throw. So, you snap your fingers, and the snap echoes and lands on the pillar. You can see some dust shake off of the pillar, and the pillar, some of the bricks kind of unaligned from themselves. However, the pillar is still standing. McGrod hears the snap and flinches, taking the full 15 points of thunder damage. He kind of looks around, his eyes a little bit wide as he's kind of slightly tone deaf at the moment. McGrod runs over towards you and slides and stops right in front of you and says,
These dirty tricks are really starting to annoy me.
he is going to attempt to multi-attack you.
You dead.
So, the first slash from McGrod's broadsword, you manage to kind of sidestep it and back out of the way. However, this puts you off balance. McGrod, being the trained guard that he is, seizes the opportunity and stabs you right in the arm, dealing 7 points of piercing damage. He draws back and takes one kind of hop step backwards, looking satisfied with himself.
Okay.
And the crowd goes, whoa!
Crowd goes wild.
The girls go wild. I mean, what?
Same.
The crowd cheers, and now you can hear them all saying, McGrod! 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 And McGrod looks up at all of them and smiles and waves as the sun kind of shines a glimmer off of his armor.
Oh, this is so cool, but not Jimmy.
This brings us to Felton.
Majestic.
Yeah, Zerul hasn't met Jimmy yet. How sad.
I really like I say, I like city officials.
Okay. Felfiz, what is your turn? You could attempt to attack the pillar again, or whatever you want to do. You could attempt to climb a pillar.
That won't go so well.
Okay, you can just link that as attack. I know what it does.
But I wanted to ask, so can I hit McGrod and try to knock him into the pillar? Because it is a blast and it is force damage.
It is.
So-
Go ahead and make an Arcana check. As you sit there, you start to slowly extend your finger and start to channel the energy in it. Go ahead and make the Eldritch Blast roll.
Okay.
And give me 1 second. Okay, I was gonna say McGrod would literally have to roll a critical fail here.
Fuck.
So you point your finger at Magrod, and having experienced the attack before, as the energy in a bright, crackling beam rushes out, Magrod ducks over and takes a quick step to the right, and then recovering his position. However, you did manage to hit the pillar, and the pillar begins to shake a little bit, and you can see some cracks running up the side of it. However, it is still steady.
Ooh.
This
Okay.
brings us...
Oh, I saw it. Movement.
Oh yeah, go ahead and use your movement.
Okay. God, I don't know how fast he is, but he's probably gonna hit me. Alright, let's try that.
So, Magrod, having just dodged the blast that went over his shoulder, he kind of dusts his shoulders off and says,
Oh, trying to run from me, are you? Well, we have provisions for that.
he runs over here. Damn it. Over here. And you see him reach behind him for a quick second, like literally a second, his trained hands reaching behind him and pulling out a javelin. He stretches his arm back and puts his left foot forward and attempts to throw it at you. And coughs. No.
Yes.
Ah, damn it.
He leans and puts all of his might into the javelin. However, his aim was off and it sails over your shoulder. You can feel the air pass by your eardrum as it sticks, and even though it's stone, it impacts the stone into the fighting pit behind you and stays in there, lodged in place. He kind of looks at himself and says,
I need to practice that a little bit more.
however, he's going to sit there. This brings us to you.
Damn. Okay. Shit, so I'd have no guarantee where this pillar is gonna fall if I do hit it, huh?
Unless you hit it from an angle of some kind, and where exactly you hit it at, such as physics go. Like if you hit it at the top from your direction, it'll probably fall over on the same line.
Okay, yeah. What? Okay, so I did hit it, like, in the middle and on the edge. So I guess I would have to hit it here?
Well, there are cracks. You know what? Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
So, taking a moment to examine the pillar, what once was straight square stones stacked on each other, looking a little worn, now the stones are very zigzag from each other, with some of the stones starting to crack, and even as time goes on, they sink a little bit. You know that from hitting it from the bottom at your angle, may indeed trip the bottom stone out, causing the momentum to fall towards Magrod.
Okay. I'm gonna begin to cast Eldritch Blast again,
Okay.
banking on the hope that he's gonna dodge it.
Okay.
I'm gonna aim for the bottom of the pillar, directly behind him.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
Okay.
And we'll see if he does.
Oh, if he had to roll a critical failure for that 9, I don't think he's gonna not touch that one.
Well, Magrod might have rolled a critical failure.
Oh.
So, once again, you point your finger out, banking on the fact that Magrod would kind of react in time and dodge it. However, he's a bit slow, dismayed at his toss from the javelin. The Eldritch Blast cracks out and strikes him in the shoulder, ripping off his steel pauldron from his shoulder plate. You can see a leather tunic underneath as he sits there and holds his shoulder, which has gone limp.
Oh, okay. He has a lot of fucking health, oh my god.
He's a guard captain, man.
He is, but I'm a little sad that he had that much. Okay.
Yeah, you got matched up with literally the hardest person on the list. Well, you chose that, but...
Currently at 42 hit points.
Oh, more than 42 apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
You could roll a perception check to see how he's kind of doing, but on your next turn, because you already
Has
checked.
he used my Bardic Inspiration yet?
He has not. He hasn't really had an instance where it would do him a lot of good.
Okay, I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3. Let's see how far. Okay.
So, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, let's stay there.
Magrad, clutching his shoulder, his sword, he sheathes before clutching it. He kind of puts his fingers into his shoulder and says,
Well, this is no good like this.
he turns and crashes his left shoulder into the pillar, popping it back into place. However, he takes... Oh, whoops, if I could type.
Enough to kill him, enough to kill him, enough to kill him.
He takes 4 points of bludgeoning damage. He kind of winces from the pain, but he looks at you and says,
That is much better.
However, he does move over here in order to get a better side of you, but that ends his turn.
Okay.
Oh no.
It's the fucking moment, boys. Okay. So I do want to make that perception. Okay, so can I make that check on him and then still cast the spell?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make that perception check to see how well he's doing. I have a vague clue, apparently.
So, you're looking at Magrad. He's bleeding heavily. However, as you didn't do any kind of slashing damage, he looks a little bruised and battered. He's walking a little slower. His actions are a little slower. However, his face is pretty decently red and sweaty. He's looking pretty rough, but he's still got some fight in him.
Okay, and so the pillar, you said that hitting the bottom one.
Hitting the bottom one would, from your angle now, would kick out the bottom stone and sway the momentum to fall towards this direction.
Okay. Jeez. There's a question again. If I hit him and it falls, if he knocks back into the pillar, I don't know if that would even happen. My Arcana check didn't do much to help me figure that out. Okay, yeah, let's just do it. Oops, wrong button. Okay. Here we go. Fuck!
Oh, God! So,
He has to dodge that, come on.
pointing your finger outwards, you channel the energy. Magrad, seeing you start to summon the energy, sits there for a second before kind of ducking low, preparing to dodge. However, your Eldritch Blast misses both Magrad and the pillar entirely, crashing into the wall. It was a critical fail. I mean, crashing into the wall of the fight pit, knocking some stone out of place. Some dust comes out of the hole in the wall as some debris trickles down.
I start crying again. So that's all I have left. Fuck. Okay. Let's make my way behind the pillar
Okay.
and end it there.
This takes us back to Magrad. And he shouts out,
Crowd, should I end this immediately or make it prolong?
and the crowd sits.
Immediately!
Well, we're gonna see how the crowd reacts. Actually,
That's what I say.
Crowd is
Prolong
withholding.
it. Give me a chance.
the crowd shouts out, "Finish it, Magrad! Finish it!" And Magrad looks at the crowd and smiles. He comes 1, 2, 3, 4, right in front of Thelfiz and says,
Well, sir, it was a good fight and I was hoping I wouldn't have to do this. However, you have left me no choice.
he brings his sword out and closes his eyes for a moment as the blades of the sword on both sides are surrounded by a bright blue outline as he lifts the sword up over his head and attempts to bring it directly down upon you.
Whew! This is getting intense.
It's not just a regular sword, it's a blue-tinged sword.
Oh man.
It's Super Saiyan God.
Please tell me he rolled a critical failure.
What's with
This-
the surprise magic?
The sword strike itself misses you. However, after the sword passes by your body, the blue lines expand off of the sword in an attempt to strike into you. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw. Seeing this magical energy and familiar with the arcane arts, you're not entirely sure what spell this was. However, the lines coming at you, all of a sudden time seems to slow for you, and you manage to roll out of the way, and the lines form a perfect line vertical in the wall behind you
You move like they do.
as he sits there and curses silently to himself.
Does he take a movement?
No, he's going to stay there.
Damn, that's too bad. Okay.
Having you cornered, he sees you in the very, well, not cornered, but he sees this as an advantageous position.
Okay. Let's see.
He still has not used the inspiration die, but
You're really banking on that pillar, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's my only fucking hope, so roll.
I don't know, you jumped in pretty hard with your arcane blast and stuff.
Yeah.
But I want to finish him. I have no idea how much health he has left. Actually, I'm going to do a perception check to figure that out.
Get ready.
No,
Never mind,
Has
no, I'm
more health
not.
than he had before.
yeah, I mean, you didn't deal any damage to him in between last time and this time anyway.
Oh, that's true, that's true. Okay.
So I'm just gonna let that. I'm gonna act like that didn't exist.
So am I. Alright, so I'm gonna... 2, 3... Man, I want to hit him, but I don't know if I could see him from behind that pillar.
From where
How
you're
big is he? Would he be sticking out at all? Or...
The pillar is 5 feet by 5 feet, and he is a dwarf who is currently turned to his side, which puts him skinny-wise. So from your current position, if you moved back a square, you'd be able to kind of, which you have room for, you'd be able to hit him, but from your current position, you would not.
Okay. Damn. It's not good positioning. Out of spells too, that's too bad.
Well, you did... I thought your Eldritch Blast was a cantrip, is it not?
Yeah, it is. I cast all the other ones I had the
Oh, you did.
level spells, yeah.
Well, after the guard, like, when the guard guys were checking you guys out and interrogating you, that's considered a long rest, but you used Unseen Servant and Burning Hands.
Uh-huh.
Did you use 2 Unseen Servants? I think you did?
No. Just one.
Okay, so you used 2 spells so far.
And shattered.
Oh, and Shatter.
So that'd be all of them. Yeah, that's all I have left.
Oh, okay.
Or that's all I had, so
Gotcha.
tapped out. But I got... Oh, well, maybe. Wait a minute. Let me see.
You could attempt to use one of your other cantrips creatively.
Yeah. Is this a... That's... Damn. Okay. Creatively.
I'm gonna look at what cantrips you have real quick. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to cast. Okay, let me change it to spell card. I'm going to cast Ray of Frost.
Okay.
And 60. Okay, so what kind of
Brandon said Boruto,
range would I
goddamn it,
have? Or no, maybe that's not the right question. What kind of like
Brandon
time
said
period do
Boruto,
I
you
have
forgot.
for casting that ray of frost?
It's instantaneous.
Okay, not cast time. Like, how much can I cast? If that makes more sense.
You would have to use your action to cast it if that's what you're asking.
Okay, no, here.
But
let
it's
me...
basically it lasts as long as a blink.
Oh, okay. No, okay. Let me try to explain what I wanted to do. I wanted to cast it like across. So like wave my hand so that it would try to make a slippery patch on the floor. Maybe trip him up.
Okay. You'd only be able to shoot that in a straight line from where you're standing, though.
Oh, okay.
You can't really like curve it or drive it or anything.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's try that.
Okay, and what exactly are you gonna like cast it at?
Let's cast it like right here, right in front of him. Try to make a ice patch right there.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that as an attack. As you sit there, your hands start to glow a nice light blue, and the air around your hands begins to freeze as you can see some very small snowflakes in the air before you turn and shoot the ray of frost towards the ground. It leaves a streak in the ground. However, the dust is a bit too dry to be able to freeze over entirely.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, let's end it there.
Okay. You can hear McGrod sitting there and cheering, or not cheering, he's sitting there yelling out,
All right, I'll end it with a show.
and he's going to attempt to push his right shoulder into the pillar and knock it over.
Ding! Tables have turned.
It's gonna be hard, but... So McGrod's sitting there and heaving against the pillar. It starts to lean a little bit in towards Felfez, however, doesn't fall, but McGrod is still locked into trying to push it. It is now your turn.
Oh my god.
Mercy question. Does he take any damage from pushing it?
If something goes catastrophically wrong, he might.
Okay.
However, he did use his good shoulder to kind of nudge it.
Okay. Darn, that's too bad. Ugh. Now, I don't want to stand in front of that pillar, but...
Yeah, you can see the pillar kind of leaning towards you. You could certainly move.
Leaning towards me?
Yeah.
That's not good. Okay. Fuck, but I want to stand in the pillar about to collapse on him if I wanted to. Okay. Can I see the pillar enough from here?
Yeah, we'll say you'd kind of take out the pillar, the corner of the pillar that's closest by you, but you could aim a spell at the top right pillar.
Okay, wait. Top right pillar?
Yeah, this
one?
No, this guy. This is top right. Top.
I don't know directions.
Top is this way, like top of the web page.
I thought you meant that one, top left. No, I wanted to hit that one. This one. The one that he's...
Oh yeah, you could hit that easily.
Is he still trying to actively push it?
He is still trying to push it, yeah.
Okay. Let's do some physics. I'm going to want to hit the very top of that pillar with an Eldritch Blast. Which, if I know anything about physics, it should bring him into it if the balance is overmatched, and then it'll collapse on him.
Go ahead and roll the Eldritch Blast attack. (15). So, as you sit there and you point your finger out, casting the Eldritch Blast towards the top of the pillar, the very top stone of the pillar shatters. However, the rest start to fall in on him with the force. Seeing that he's pushing himself almost under the pillar entirely. He attempts to dodge out of the way. He manages to rush out of the way, but some of the stones fall on his armor on the back, denting it a little bit. He kind of coughs, and you can see him wince in the pain, assuming he took a bit of damage from that.
Okay. Yeah, let's stay there. I'll end it there.
Okay. You hear Magrod yell out,
Wow, that was a little foolish on my part and a little too smart on your part. Well,
and he sits there and thinks. Magrod runs out from behind the pillar. And attempts to take his sword out and slash you with it.
oh man!
You see Magrod quickly unsheath his sword and drive it into your shoulder,
Fuck.
dealing 16 points of
God
piercing
damn it.
damage.
Jeez.
He takes the sword out of your shoulder as you quickly cover the seeping blood with your hand and you fall unconscious. Magrod takes a step back, heaving and huffing. He waves to the crowd and says,
Well, I commend you, sir. That was a much better fight than I was expecting.
and Magrod walks out of the arena as you are currently carried by the two medical guards who put you on a stretcher. One of them, a third one, immediately casting some green glowing magic over you as they escort you out of the arena towards past all the holding cells and into the medical room with Azani and Luke and the rest of them.
Do we see? Do I see Magrod pass?
You do.
I give him a like, good job, man. That was great. What a show.
He turns to you and heaving, you can see all the dents in his armor, and he's still holding his left shoulder a little bit. He looks at you and gives you a thumbs up as he kind of slowly stumbles along. Unless anybody wants to do anything else, that will go ahead and end our session.
What happens to the gulag?
Well, that's a mystery.
That's true.
So, but Zerul, if you want to keep playing, you'll most likely have to... Well, yeah, you would. You wouldn't be able to do NPCs the whole time. You'd be able to make a character, though.
Oh, I love gulag.
Yeah, but then I told... Well, after this arcane thing had happened to Gulag, his intelligence buff kind of wore off again.
Okay, that's fine.
So if you wanted to play Gulag again, you'd probably have to talk like him the entire time. Only when in character, though. When out of character, it doesn't matter, but... So
I don't think Zerwood would mind that very much.
That's up, that's up to you. So, as Magrod and everybody else steps out of the arena, you guys hear the announcer call out,
Well, that will conclude all of the fights for today. We shall have another tournament tomorrow for the next division of winners.
Wait, does that mean me?
It does indeed.
Alright, me and Princess Toad, let's go.
Princess Toad looks at you and hops up and down in her excitement a little bit before just falling on her back and just kind of chilling there.
So cute.
You feel the earth shake as a huge dust cloud forms where Princess Toad flopped over in the dust.
Aww. This has been great. Oh man, I hope I don't have to fight Magrod. That'd be
You're
sad.
gonna have to fight McGrath.
Yeah, Magrod had 80 health at the start.
Jesus!
How
And
close was I?
you got him down to, let me see, 13.
Oh man, you were so
Wow.
close.
That was good. That was a good fight, though. GG.
Yeah. I was expecting him to kind of clean the floor with you, but you kept going it pretty strong.
Did you ever use my Bardic Inspiration?
He did not, which I didn't forget about, but he just didn't seem to really need it.
Alright. I respect that.
What XP did we get?
I will go ahead. We'll get to that at the start of the next time. I really don't feel like dealing with that right now.
Oh, okay.
But
If I
yeah,
had level 4, that fight would have gone so much different.
Zab.
I want my level 4.
Actually, no.
Live
So-
here.
so yeah,